Hi friends and family, today I'm going to show you how to make a torch salmon roll. If you're able to make only one sushi roll, this is probably the one you're going to have to make. You got a lot of different flavors to it. You're going to have some spiciness, some sweetness, some cheesiness, a little bit of smokiness to it, a lot of different textures. So here we go. Alright, first thing is you got to make sure you got a sharp knife. So today I'm going to be using my Guto knife. I'm going to run it a few times across my medium grit sharpening stone. This is a Shapton brand stone at 1000 grit. If you don't have a sharpening stone, just find the sharpest knife you got in your kitchen and then run with that. You're just going to have some better, cleaner looking sushi with a sharper knife. Alright, the ingredients. So from the top left, we're going to have some short grain rice. This is the Cow Rose brand that I'm using. You're going to have some shrimp tempura. It's pre-made. You don't want to mess with batter and hot oil, so it's going to save you a lot of time, a lot of mess. We have some imitation crab. This is the flake style. You can find this at any grocery store. It's really hard to find pre-shredded crab, imitation crab, so we'll shred it ourselves. We have some seaweed wrap or nori. You're going to have to grab some green onion, avocado, some tabiko. If you find masago, which is a little smaller and less expensive, you could do that. Cream cheese, some mayo, just regular mayonnaise, some rice vinegar, some unagi sauce. If you can't find unagi sauce, teriyaki sauce is a good alternative. Some gochujang, so this is the Korean chili paste, some sugar, and then of course salmon. You need about half a pound of salmon. You could get the Atlantic salmon at any supermarket. Since we're cooking it, it should be okay. Cook your rice. We're doing 2 cups. I'm using my rice cooker. Once the rice is done, put it into a flat surface. While it's still steamy, go ahead and pour a 1/4 cup of the rice vinegar onto it and then gently just spread it across all the different rice. Be gentle with the rice. You don't want it being mushy. You want to try to keep the rice as fluffy as you can. You're going to have a better end result. 4 to 5 stalks of the green onion, finely cut them. You want to try to cut them as finely as you can. You don't want big pieces of green onion on top of your sushi roll. Next is going to be the crab mix. So we're going to use 14 ounce or 400 grams of the imitation crab flakes. You're going to put it into a food processor, about 6 quick bursts to break it down, and then run it for about 10 seconds. You want the pieces to be about the size of a grain of rice. You don't want them any smaller than that. You're going to add 5 tablespoons of mayo into that 14 ounce of crab mix. Just make sure it's all mixed in so that you can form a ball without it falling apart. We're going to make one of the sauces. It's a mayo-based sauce, so you're going to do 1 cup of mayo, 1 tablespoon of the gochujang, the Korean chili paste, 3 teaspoons of sugar. You're going to mix that all really well. It's going to take a little while because the gochujang is so thick, but it'll eventually end up something like this, kind of a dark orange, dark red color. And then you're going to get some saran wrap. We're going to create a piping bag just so that we could transfer it into a squeeze bottle. If you have a funnel, you can use a funnel too. It just takes a little longer using a funnel because the sauce is so thick. I'm going to just pipe it into an old sriracha bottle so that I could use it as a squeeze bottle on top of the sushi roll later. You do the same thing with the unagi sauce that you bought. Just put that into another squeeze bottle and you're set to go. The shrimp. Get the air fryer. Just throw them in the air fryer. 400 degrees for 7 to 8 minutes. Keep an eye on them. Don't let them burn out on you. Right, so now we get to actually make the sushi roll. First thing is you're going to cut 3 slices of salmon. They should be somewhere around 2 inches in length and about 1/2 centimeter in thickness. Don't be too worried about this because they're just going to go on top of the roll and sauce is going to go on top of that. Cut one of the fushitsunoris in half. You're going to put the rough side up. 4.3 ounces of the sushi rice is going to go on the rough side. Evenly spread it out, covering the entire nori. A little water on the cutting board. Sushi rice down. And you're going to put a little bit of cream cheese right across. You don't want to put too much. Cream cheese can easily overpower all the ingredients. It should just be about 1 centimeter in thickness. 1 ounce of the crab mix evenly across the nori. 2 pieces of shrimp. Cut the end tails off. You don't want those going inside. Try to tuck the ingredients together and then roll the bottom piece of the nori up to the top. Make sure the bottom connects to the top. If it doesn't, your sushi roll is going to fall apart when you cut it. Avocado, split it in half. Be careful not to cut yourself. Twist it open, and you're going to get a butter knife and just slice up a few thin slices of avocado. So they're thin, not thick, okay? So right up across the top. Salmon's gonna go on top of that. The 3 pieces you got evenly across from one side to the next. There we go. All right, saran wrap right on top of the roll, and then get your makisu and just a couple of light presses just to form the roll. You don't have to go too hard. Get your knife, a little bit of water at the tip. You're gonna make a total of 8 slices, which is gonna give you 9 pieces. If your knife is not that sharp, you might have to do like a little sawing action to get through each pieces. If you do end up smashing your roll when you're cutting, don't stress, just put some more saran wrap over it and form it again and try to make the cut cleaner. All right, so now when you're plating the sushi roll, a common theme that you're gonna see in making sushi is that symmetry matters. So what does that mean? Go find your protractor. Just kidding. Just go ahead and eyeball it the best you can. Eventually you'll get the hang of it with more repetition. So the first sauce we're gonna place is the mayo sauce that we made earlier. You're gonna go 2 passes with this sauce because it's gonna be a little thicker. We're gonna be torching it right after this sauce goes on. So you gotta put a little bit more of that sauce on. So the torch I'm using, it's a butane torch. I bought this on Amazon for $15. The brand is Fun Outlet. There's a lot of different brands that you could buy on Amazon for these butane torches. They range anywhere from $15 to $50. So just search under butane torch. When you're torching your roll, make sure the flame is not right up against the roll. You could easily burn it. You'll get some burn spots, so keep it a little farther away and just let it kind of sizzle. It's gonna give off this really distinct, savory aroma, kind of like a caramelizing, smoky, savory aroma. So every time I burn this roll, it kind of takes me back to the first restaurant I worked at out in the Central Valley. It's kind of strange how smell takes it back in time, but it's a really good smell. Next is going to be the unagi sauce. You're just going to do 1 pass with this, and then we're going to sprinkle some green onion right on top. There we go. And it's going to be the tabiko or masago if you picked a masago instead. Just a little sprinkle. There we go. This is a great roll to make at home. For the people that are just starting out to eat sushi, I think they'll appreciate it because it's pretty much a completely cooked roll. It's a little less scarier to eat. For the people that's been eating sushi for a while, you know, every now and then, I don't think they would mind eating something like this, where you get a lot of different flavors, a lot of different textures to it. So this is it. This is the torch salmon roll that you can make at home. I really encourage you to try making it. Enjoy.